Hi, this is Stephen Van Kampen-Lewis. It is January 9th in the afternoon. Kind of a chilly day. Tomorrow we're going to get some really bad weather, maybe some snow here in the Austin area. So I want to film this now and get it out of the way so that I don't have to come out here and try and get something out this weekend. And actually the reason I mentioned that is what I want to do today is talk about some of my Nobiliors behind me, and specifically one that's actually blooming. As you can see right there, we've got some open flowers, and I think ideally I would have given it a few more days to open up, but I actually want to see it myself. So that Nobilior is so far behind me, in sort of buried in other Nobiliors and Walkerianas, that I can't really see it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out, get a look for myself, and then show everybody here what it looks like from a much better vantage point. Also, I'm going to show you, we've got this Nobilior Cerulean. Those buds are getting really close to opening. So let me turn this around, and we'll go over, I'll show you some Nobiliors real quick, and then I will pull that plant out and we'll talk specifically about that plant. So the Walkeriana and Nobilior collection is doing pretty well. I am seeing some bulbs shriveling. So since I'm only watering once every week or once every other week, there are some plants that are getting skinny. That's okay. These guys are used to it. I'm not going to water them today because we do have below freezing temperatures coming up. And if for whatever reason my greenhouse heater goes out, which I don't think it will, if it gets really cold in here, all the roots need to be dry so that there's a better chance of everything pulling through and doing better. But I'm gonna move this Cymbidium out of the way so you can see an example of some shriveled bulbs in some of these smaller plants. Again, these plants, the Nobiliors and Walkerianas as a group are really drought tolerant and are really good at recovering from a little water stress. They have incredibly dry winters, especially the Nobiliors. But let's look at some buds. So we have this one right here. This is actually a Nobilior by Ludamanianacross, which is kind of interesting. I saw it bloom for the first time last spring. Let's see if I can get in. There we go. You can kind of see that. And it was interesting. I wasn't super impressed. So if it's not a cool bloom this time around, maybe I'll send along to someone else. I've got Brazilian Jewel over here, which is Nobilior by Walkeriana. That should be a cool one. Only one bud, but I guess that's better than no buds. And of course, one of my pride and joys is this Cerulean Nobilior that I got from Francisco Miranda years ago. And I've created this this division, which is ready to go soon. I'm going to send that off to a friend. It's sometime in the spring. And then of course the main plant itself, and some Catasetum blooms. It's not the point of today's discussion, but hey, what the heck. I'll show you what I've got in bud. Got this guy here coming too. Anyway, the point of today's discussion will be that giant Nobilior back there, so you can kind of see some plants. I'm gonna have to move all these guys out of the way first, ideally not snapping any bulbs off, and I will I'll pull it out. I'll bring it outside actually so we can all take a look a little more easily. So I've pulled this guy out, set him up here, and let's take a look. So first thing you'll notice is it's pink, right? This is a typical or a tipo Nobilior. Nothing particularly special about this variety. As you can see, the shape is not particularly great either. Ideally, we have a nice flat flower. These are just opening up, so they probably will open a little more fully. And actually this spike over here is probably what all the flowers will end up looking like. Again, nothing super special, but it's a cool one. It's a big one. And what's really interesting about this guy is you can see a lot of different growth, a lot of different types of growth. So let's take a step back here and show you how big this pot is. I keep just sort of taking smaller pots and throwing them in larger pots. And if you use a really high grade or high quality bark like I do, which is Orchiata, you know, this stuff lasts for years and years and years. And so this is a really great way to do it. That way you don't disturb the roots. But so this is an ideal spike to show you what the ultimate flower will look like when they're all open. Here's another bud that is yet to open. Here is another growth coming in. This looks like it'll be a leaf. Let me see if I can zoom in here and show you why I think that. Let's get my finger in here so the camera zooms in. You can see that top spike there. You can see the space at the end. That's turning into a leaf. So that to me is a new growth. So we have flowers. Oops, let me zoom out here. Flowers, a bud, and a new growth all on just this side of the plant. And if we swing around to the other side of the plant, I've got some interesting things to show you as well. So normally this is an interesting spike. You can see that it is just starting to open up, and maybe if I had seen this about a month ago, I would have guessed that this was a new growth. But you can see this has a bud inside, and I'll get my silly finger out of the way there. Let's see if we can, come on, zoom in. Anyway, there's a bud in there. I guess I just have to take my word for it. You can kind of see it. So, but you can see how long that growth is for the bloom spike. They put out a whole separate growth, and sometimes, which is, I haven't seen this a whole lot, but sometimes that separate growth will also turn into a growth. So check this out. The new growth has flowers attached to it, but it's also got these leaves. So these guys, it does happen every now and then. I feel like it happens more on Walkerianas, but they'll put out these sort of miniature leaves here on the new growth. Again, those are for plants that are super happy, lots of nutrients, big root system, big stores of reserves in the back bulbs. You can see the back bulbs are a little shriveled. That's okay. But this is a big plant. I mean, you know, I've got an average size hand, I guess. I'm just over 6 feet tall, so you can see how big these leaves are. Ultimately, this is a great plant, and I would say it probably needs a haircut. So what I'll do in the spring, as the new growths are about to put out new roots, I'll probably cut this guy up into 2, maybe 4 pieces. We'll see. You can see this bulb is especially happy. It's got 3 leaves on it. But let's get back to the flowers. Strongly fragrant, really nice. Not as potent as Walkeriana, but still really, really nice. Especially this time of day, in the middle of the day when the sun's hitting it. One more look at this spike here. What's cool is you can really notice the patterns on the lip. That's really bold, typical pattern for Nobiliors. This is probably a better example here. Nice spade-shaped lip. That veining there on these guys that are opening up, and these flowers will darken over the next couple days. Anyway, hope you're having a great weekend, and about this time next week, I will be making a video of that Cerulean Nobilior, and I'm super excited to share that with y'all. Talk to you later.